Most people buy a wood stove for two reasons: the look of the flames and the immediate blast of heat it provides. It feels cozy, it seems efficient, and it becomes the centerpiece of a room. But what if I told you that this entire approach is fundamentally flawed? That the very things you think are signs of a good stove are actually indicators that you are wasting a staggering amount of money and energy. The reality is, most people buy stoves without understanding the basic physics of heat, and as a result, they're trapped in a cycle of inefficiency, high costs, and even danger. The way we've been taught to think about wood heat is simply wrong. We focus on the fire itself, not on where the energy from that fire actually goes. The biggest problem, and the one most stove owners never truly grasp, is what I call the up-the-chimney problem. When you burn wood in a standard metal stove, especially an older model or an open fireplace, you're not just creating heat for your room, you're creating a powerful upward draft of hot gases. Think of your chimney or flue pipe as a giant straw, sucking the most valuable product of your fire, the heat energy, straight out of your house and into the sky. A huge percentage of the energy released from your firewood, sometimes as much as 70% or 80%, doesn't radiate into your living space. Instead, it's lost as exhaust. You are literally paying to heat the sky. You see the big, roaring fire. You feel the intense heat right in front of the glass. But you don't see the river of BTUs making a fast exit through the roof. This is the central design flaw of conventional heating. The system that's supposed to vent the smoke is also incredibly effective at venting away the very heat you're trying to capture. This leads us directly to the smolder myth, one of the most common and dangerous practices among wood stove owners. The logic seems sound. You want the fire to last all night, so you don't wake up to a cold house. To achieve this, you load up the firebox and then damper down the air supply, starving the fire of oxygen. The fire stops roaring and begins to smolder, slowly charring the wood for hours. You think you've outsmarted the stove, getting a long, slow burn. But what you've actually done is create a perfect storm of inefficiency and hazard. A smoldering fire isn't a complete combustion. The wood isn't burning hot enough to release all of its potential energy. Instead, the low temperature and lack of oxygen cause the volatile gases in the wood to cook off without burning. These unburnt gases travel up your cool chimney, where they condense into a sticky, tar-like substance called creosote. Creosote is highly flammable. Every time you smolder a fire, you are painting the inside of your flue with fuel, dramatically increasing your risk of a dangerous chimney fire. Furthermore, you're wasting a massive amount of potential heat. You've turned your expensive firewood into smoke and tar instead of usable BTUs. The long burn is an illusion of efficiency that costs you fuel and compromises your safety. The fundamental difference comes down to a simple concept: metal versus mass. Your typical metal stove, whether it's made of cast iron or steel, is designed for rapid heat transfer. It heats up very quickly, blasting radiant heat into the room. This feels great when you first light the fire, but it's a double-edged sword. Just as quickly as metal heats up, it cools down. The moment your fire begins to die down, the stove stops radiating heat. Once the fire is out completely, the stove becomes a cold block of metal in your room. This creates a relentless cycle of dependency. To stay warm, you have to constantly feed the fire. You're tethered to the stove, adding logs every few hours, day and night. The heat you get is intense, but fleeting. You're not storing energy. You're just renting it for as long as the fire burns. This is a life of active, constant fire management, not passive, stable warmth. You are a slave to the firebox, constantly stoking and reloading just to keep the chill at bay. The alternative, thermal mass, works on a completely opposite principle, storing heat over a long period and releasing it slowly and evenly, long after the fire is out. If you're buying your firewood, this inefficiency isn't just a theoretical problem, it's a direct and significant financial drain. An inefficient stove is quite literally burning your cash. Let's do some simple math. Older metal stove might operate at around 60% efficiency, and that's being generous, especially if it's operated improperly. In contrast, a modern high-efficiency masonry heater can easily achieve 90% efficiency or more. Imagine you need 100 units of heat to keep your home comfortable through the winter. With the 60% efficient stove, you would need to burn approximately 167 units of wood fuel to get those 100 units of heat into your house. The other 67 units go straight up the chimney as waste. Now, consider the 90% efficient masonry heater. To get the same 100 units of heat, you only need to burn about 111 units of wood fuel. The difference is staggering. The inefficient stove requires you to buy and burn 50% more wood to achieve the exact same result. If you spend $1,000 on firewood for the season with a masonry heater, you would need to spend $1,500 to get the same amount of effective heat from the less efficient stove. Over a decade, that's an extra $5,000, all gone up in smoke. So, how do we break this cycle of waste? The solution lies in two key technologies that are designed to capture the energy you currently losing: secondary combustion and thermal mass. Secondary combustion is the process of burning the smoke itself. Modern EPA-certified stoves use either catalytic converters or precisely engineered fireboxes with superheated air tubes to reignite the volatile gases that would normally escape up the chimney. This secondary burn can extract up to 30% more energy from your wood, drastically increasing efficiency and reducing emissions. But the ultimate solution is combining this high-efficiency burn with thermal mass. Instead of a metal box that cools down quickly, a masonry heater channels those superhot exhaust gases through a labyrinth of dense masonry channels. The mast, the brick, stone, or soapstone, absorbs the intense heat from a short, hot fire. After the fire is out, the massive structure continues to gently radiate warmth into your home for 12, 24, or even 36 hours. You burn one hot, clean fire for a couple of hours, and the heater does the work of keeping you warm for the rest of the day and night. This is the only way to truly capture the energy you're repaying for and transform your relationship with wood heat from one of constant labor to one of lasting, comfortable warmth.